Welcome back, people of Tamriel. I'm Xenocraft 1212, back with another Skyrim Special Edition mod showcase, and this time I'll be showing Vikings Weaponry SE by Johnskyrim. Now, as you can see, I have these, well, one of these weapons showing, and another one is a shield. Now, this mod adds some weapons and 2 shields from the TV show Vikings, which, disclaimer at the very beginning here, I do not know much about Vikings, I'm sorry. I know a lot about Game of Thrones, but this mod comes in 2 versions, 2K and 4K. I have downloaded the 4K version, and as you can see, it's a lot higher res than the other things in the game. Now what it adds is the Floki Adz, or I think that's how you'd say that, Floki Axe, Lagertha Sword, and the Lothbrok Axe, as well as light and heavy Lagertha shield and light and heavy other shield that I've not made yet, so we will do that in a second. But just going to drop them on the ground so we can get a nice zoomed in picture without them moving. And this thing is really interesting. To me it's like a war hoe. So it looks like. And the wood grain is correct. By the way, you want the grain to be parallel with the direction of the edge. Makes it less likely to break. Just a little bit of knowledge there. Anyways, let's drop this. And go into some toggle free camera once again. And as you can see, even compared to Skyland, which I believe is a 2K mod, it still looks extremely high res. And it's so small that I can't get very close up to it. I can't get very close at all because this weapon is so tiny. I'll show you how comically tiny it is in a sec. But it looks really, really nice. The sensitivity in toggle free camera is insane. Anyways, so that's the Floki Adz. Floki Axe. Oh, here's what it looks like in the hand, by the way. Yeah, it's this big. This thing is literally smaller, like the head of this weapon is smaller than my hand. And the handle is smaller than Sauron's forearm. So this thing is puny. Like, I would never ever want to enter a real battle with this thing. Like, at all. Like, it's not even that sharp, and it's not like curved back. It's basically just a tiny hoe. An extremely tiny hoe. So, coming at this from a historical perspective, that thing is no good. Here's the axe, which I'm hard pressed to call an axe. This is a hatchet to me, but I guess hatchet wasn't a term used for weapons of war, at least as far as I understand. And it's pretty small, has decent swing speed. Now some of these do have bonuses to the swing speed that makes them swing faster. And I have the mod page brought up right now. So the Floki Axe, yeah, it has an increased 20% of swing speed. Maybe because it's so small. I apologize if you can hear crackling in the background. That is my dog chewing on her bone. Anyways, moving on. Lagertha Sword, which is interestingly the only sword. And keeping with the theme, it is very small. And I don't know, like the way he holds it just does not work very well. I don't think there's anything wrong with the sword design, but the way the character holds it does not look like it's holding it wrong. The guard should be a lot closer to his hand, and he shouldn't have his fingers like basically on the pommel. So it just looks awkward in first person, and in third person it doesn't look that small, but it does in first person, which is kind of interesting. Maybe because of how thin the whole thing is. And also that thing with the guard is just, ugh. And finally, Lothbrok Axe. Which, again, very small. Now, the shaft is a lot longer than the others, but the head is very small, very lightweight. Now this axe I think is the most, like, if I were to personally use any of these things, I would probably go with this axe or the sword. Just like I said, the sword design is not too bad. Lothbrok Axe, by the way. Zoom in. The grain is diagonal, which is fine. And in third person, man, showing off mods for Xbox would be really annoying without the console. Just like to point that out. So here's what it looks like up close. All nice and 4K. Now, I'm not recording this in 4K. I'm recording this in 900p instead of not even 1080 because I have a cheap monitor. So I will see if I can up this in post to 4K for you. I am not going to make any promises though. I think I can go 2K for sure, but we'll see if it's 4K. If it is, then you'll be able to know. Anyways, let's make that other shield. Assuming that I still have the iron and stuff. Which I'm just going to check. Nope, I don't have my stuff, so I have to get it again. Might as well take the gold. And our steel. By the way, if you're using a controller and you want to scroll through things faster, press down with the pad part, and also press down with the four directional as well. I don't know what the name is for the joystick. Press down with the joystick and then press down with the pad, and it'll go a lot faster. There's a Lagertha Sword. And all this can be crafted in steel, as you probably gathered, because I'm in the steel. What am I missing? I'm missing leather, yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm going to need leather. Kind of important, after all you can see the leather in the shield themselves. I haven't shown off the shield yet, but I will as soon as I make this one. I apologize for all the S sound. Okay, I'll stop. Just hoping I don't pass over it. Here we go. Lothbrok shield. And Tarot God mode so that I can sprint. There we go. So the Lothbrok Axe does 12 base damage. Lothbrok Axe, meaning the one I have in my hand, does 12 base damage, and the sword does the same. The Floki Adz, I think that's how you pronounce that, does 8, and yeah, that's it. Wait, and there's also the Floki Axe, which does 10. So let's show off these shields. Here's the Lagertha shield, I think is how you pronounce it. Really nice looking leather on the back. From this point of view, the steel does not look like, it's not like some 4K mods where it's super shiny and over the top. This looks more dulled out, and it's not super reflective like these mods can end up being, but I am personally a-okay with that. So it looks like you're wearing it under normal conditions. If we go ahead and drop these, they'll be facing the wrong direction. Come on, pick it up. Come on. Oh no. See, sometimes the controls of Skyrim are not exactly to be desired. They're not the best. No. There's no winning with this. Now it's stuck in the ground. Okay, come on. Flip, flip up. Yes, success. Look at that wood. I love the attention to detail in that wood. And the nice rust and dents. Like, this shield looks like it has been through a lot. It's been repainted multiple times. It's been patched up with the steel and the crack. And it just looks really, really nice. And also, I don't know what this design is on it. It looks like, my guess would be a crow, or I don't know. Yeah, my guess is that's a crow. It reminds me of like either a raven or crow design from America, which is where I am, because the native people of like Alaska and the coast, the western coast and northwestern, so like Oregon, Washington, have drawings of ravens that look kind of a lot like that. And the keen-eyed among you may have noticed that this shield is exactly the same as the other one, just with different colors. That is the only difference. Different colors. Fairly positive. Yeah. They're the same, just different coloring. But that is fine by me. It's nice to be able to pick between red and blue. And they seem about the right size. But let's test out, make sure that this all functions. Man, I seem to be running super slowly. Make sure that the blood textures work, shall we? Oh, this is annoying, not knowing how much health it has.
It's nothing.
Yep, blood works. So does the Shroud of Boethia, which is not what we're testing. There we go. There's our blood on the axe. This is my favorite weapon to use, by the way, because of the swing speed. So this thing has a 50% boost to swing speed. I'm not sure if it counts as an axe or a sword. I would assume an axe. Blood textures definitely work on this too. Come up with Kid with this axe, see that it should function. I've seen it work in the past. Maybe it's just because Kid. Shields work. Yeah. Everything works just fine. I've tested it in the past. But, just proving it. Yeah, that's the way your hand holds that sword, just really awkward in my opinion. But, whatever. It doesn't really matter in the end. Now, I don't know if this is original Faendal or Immortal Faendal. And if anyone is out there making graphical mods, definitely suggest making a mod that makes blood get on your shield as well as your weapon. Because the shields end up completely... Oh wait, no, I need to go third person first. The shields are completely clean. And so is your armor. Even though you should be covered in blood. Including my face, because there's an arrow sticking out of it. But I think this about wraps it up. I've shown all the weapons, all the swords. To be honest, there's not really that many. But they do look very well. And the Floki Adz, or Adz, or however you pronounce it. Like I said, I don't watch the TV show. Works amazing, and it is super duper fun to use. And even though it's so tiny, but it swings so fast, and you can wreck people super quickly with this thing. And if you were to dual wield it, then look at the speed now.
Be careful.
Which means, if I put this in my left hand, and were to do a two-handed power attack, I said put this in my left hand, that's the speed. So this whole thing, you can speed up a two-handed power attack if anything, and it's just, it's super comical. You're like You're defeating your opponents with a tiny little one-handed hoe axe weapon thing. And Fangel took a lot of a beating there. And it's just super duper fun to use. And I think that's about it. So, until next time, where I will hopefully not be getting shot at by Whiterun guards, goodbye.